Hmm. Awesome, cute. Awesome, cute. Awesome, cute. Hello, and welcome back to Fandom Fridays, where we proceed to check out all the pony fics that are not pony related. Why? Because we're trying our best not to get Thanos snapped! Hello? uh, you're here on a very weird day. Martial Art for Easer is currently trying his best to pick the latest fic for today. Awesome, cute. Awesome, cute. Now, Tuxie knows what you're thinking. Why not just do an Avengers fic in honor of Endgame? Because he knows you're all too busy watching Avengers Endgame to care! So why bother if you're not even going to be here to enjoy an Avengers fic? Might as well just have something to enjoy and take your mind off of what is probably going to be a very heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching hit to your feels that you're going to watch for the rest of this year. So, instead, he's trying to pick something to take your load off. Awesome, cute. Hey, hold on. But it's so hard, Tricks. I mean, we've got an awesome Sasuke and Sakura fic here. A Twisted Time that is all about why you should never insult Sakura around me. And then we got a fic starring the cutest child of any of the Shonen Jump main cast ever, dealing with her dad being overworked. Well, why not? And on the other hand, I do feel like riffing a bad fic. Well, Trixie has an idea. Why not do the cute story for today, and next time you can hunt down Trix? No. It's been 5 years. Remember, I promised we weren't going to do that unless Mortal Kombat got a new movie. And that will take years before that happens. Why not just do this now? Trixie, you know we all want to. There's one more Von Doom fic we haven't done. Yeah, I know. I know. Fine. We'll do Himawari, and next week I'll hunt down the Von Doom fic. Oh boy, Trixie can't wait. So, without any further ado, here's Himawari Hokage for a day here at the Tree Bearing Memorial Library. Enjoy. Himawari Hokage for a day by Ziltoid. Isn't that one of the main monsters on Guyver? No, that's Zenoid. Oh, first chapter? Or only chapter? Oh, of course you would know that. Today's mood was weird. That was the only way he could describe it. A family of four shared a table, dining together after a long day's work. The boy was skittish, focusing mostly on his task of emptying the plate. The woman, wearing a knowing and soft smile, was the only one who seemed unperturbed. Her husband, however, was utterly confused, and had a hard time focusing on his meal. It was the last and youngest person at the table that caused this confusion. She was glaring at her daddy, yet the poor man didn't have a single clue why. The girl wasn't usually like this, at all. Uzumaki Himawari was a cheerful, kind-hearted, and patient little girl. She did have her times when she had a more temperamental side, though, even to the point where she became so violent that she had to be stopped before things got out of hand. When Himawari was angered, they definitely needed to find out what agitated her, or her toucan would form a threat to everyone. Naruto never forgot the day that he was, supposed to be, crowned as Nadame Hokage. Even her grandfather commented on her natural skill with the gentle fist style. In this case, though, it seemed obvious who the perpetrator was. However, Naruto had no idea what he had done wrong. If he had been worried, it didn't make sense. So he had been angry at him during the time he needed to recover from the whole Momoshiki and Kisashiki fiasco. Also, he had been worried sick, especially because her mommy had gotten hurt too, but not angry. A few days had passed after Naruto had been dismissed from the hospital, and then suddenly this. Mm, what's wrong, Hima-chan? He asked hesitantly. She's angry, Naruto-kun. Hinata supplied, as if that had been obvious already. Why? You want me to kick Papa? After some hesitation, Himawari finally said what bothered her. Cake? What? Oh, that cake! Naruto felt some cold sweat running down the back of his head. That's right. There had been Himawari's birthday party. It had been so terribly busy that he had been forced to send a clone. A clone was dispelled at the worst possible moment. You promised Boronin that you make it out to us. I did, Naruto sighed. I'm sorry, I forgot, Hima-chan. I've been so busy. Naruto says with a weary sigh. Right. Naruto laughed awkwardly, scratching the back of his head. The aftermath of the attack had caused him to work overtime. But now that the repairs are well underway, it'll be a bit better. I mean, I promised I'd make more time for you all, and I always keep my word. So, what you want, Slee? Didn't ask anything? Himawari's glare subsided, replaced by 1 mile of excitement. Pretty much, Naruto chuckled. You know, there are things that I can't give, but if I could give it, you will get. It's a promise. She turned. I want to be Hokage, just like Papa. Hokage? You said it'd be too hard to do. Hinata spoke up, not surprised in any way. Obviously, she had known about Himawari's wish. But only temporarily. I think it would be stupid! Himawari nodded eagerly, looking expectantly at her flabbergasted father. The father was looking at his wife with an expression of, what have you said in motion? The look was set by a very sweet and innocent smile. Talking about rubbing salt in one's wounds! Naruto knew that his wife was too sweet to actually get mad at him, but she did have her ways to get back at him after he messed up. An alliance between Hinata and Hima-chan is too powerful. I better just roll with it. Naruto, face it. Even an alliance of the Hokage plus your best friend would not match the power of your wife and daughter teaming up. As you wish, Hima-chan. You'll be Hokage for a day, but I'll need a few days to make preparations, okay? Himawari beamed with a grin that almost put the smiles of Mike Guy and Rock Lee to shame. What tricks? Well, they're using the Japanese pronunciation for Mike Guy, and you're not mad. Himawari is too cute, so I'm letting it slide. You hear that, Vic? Just this once. Almost. Naruto said calmly, shouldn't that be thank the 6 days? Well, you probably wouldn't want to thank Kaguya, as he didn't know any Genjutsu yet. This sunset thing was truly amazing. It was a good thing that the 6th Hokage declared it an illegal Genjutsu, and had been one of the few things Kakashi had not been laid back about. Good morning, Tsunade-san, one of the guards greeted Hokage's assistant a few days later. Oddly, she was carrying a few pillows. For Hokage-sama, she replied, without she noticed his look. She ignored his follow-up question and hurried on. She made a single knock, and then she entered the office. Just in time to see a very excited little girl with 2 whisker marks on each cheek, and eyes as blue as her father's. Sasune almost laughed out loud when she noticed her clothes. The girl wore white robes, just like her father's cloak, and his hat rested on her head. She looked tiny while wearing that big-hatted cloak, making her look all the cuter. If anyone has fan art of Himawari wearing the Hokage outfit, please link it aboard on my screen. I will be so happy. It was a sentiment shared by the girl's parents, who wants Himawari strutting around with her hat for a dame. The pillows you asked for, Hokage-sama, Sasune announced, after she regained her usual professional attitude. It was not destined to last long, though. The little girl protested, saying Sasune should not address Naruto as Hokage today, but rather her. Dad would prefer the last straw. Till slipped her arms, Sasune doubled over as she could no longer contain her laughter. I just saw something, guys! Let's say, after Roy and Risa get married, they have a little girl. And suddenly, one day, As Havoc and Fury go up for a meeting, they see the chair turned around, and Havoc's like, "We're here to see you, General." Then suddenly the chair turns around, and all they see is a little tub of black hair going, "You little fight!" We sincerely like to apologize for that moment of cuteness involving Full Metal Alchemist. My apologies, Hokage-sama, she snored, still heaving as she tried to catch her breath. The little powder on Hokage's face didn't make it much easier. When Naruto had come to her with the idea, Sasune thought he had lost his mind. However, confirmation soon came informing Hinata that no Sasune had gone afterwards. In fact, it was Hinata who seemed mostly to support the idea, rather than Naruto. And I thought Hinata's son was the responsible one, Sasune had wondered. I'm glad that's his time, Himawari added indignantly, although the twinkle in her blue eyes made it very obvious she was just acting. Sasune knew that look. Her father had the same look when he was playing pranks, back when he had only been a young Genin. And her brother? Well, Barto's reputation as a prankster was well known within the Hokage's office. I humbly thank you for your forgiveness. Sasune played along, much to the delight of the girl. Hima-chan, Susune's going to help you out, just like she does for Daddy, okay? Naruto decided to speak up. She'll help you out with the paperwork, as well as the message you'll have to hand out today. Himawari took out from under her hat. Oh my god! Cut it out, Thick! Mercy! A clone of Naruto entered the office, holding an impressive pile of paper in his hands. The twinkle in Himawari's eyes dimmed slightly. Worse, a second clone with an identical pair of paperwork followed. The girl's smile turned upside down into a frown. Well, enjoy the paperwork, Hima-chan! Naruto hugged his youngest. Be a Hokage and make Papa and Mama proud. Paperwork? The girl all but whined. Why? That's what he has to do every day. Hinata smiled. Naruto suddenly realized he hadn't just been teaching him a lesson, but their daughter too. But Sasune will be here to help you when you need it. And as promised, Papa isn't going to be around and undermine your authority. Respect my authority! Himawari giggled. Since when is Himo-chan watching shows like that? Naruto frowned. The girl blurted out. Before she realized what she had said, it clasped her hands in front of her mouth. So, the girl soon got a mischievous glint in her eye. As your Hokage, I already not to go after Hichan for that. Laughing, Hinata pulled her husband along, leaving the office in the capable hands of their daughter. I'm really getting old now, aren't I? Ordering around by my little girl, Naruto sighed. She must have a treat from her mother. That mischievous woman played us both! He poked Hinata, literally with a finger at her side. That woman needs her daughter to vent frustration she get bottled up. And her husband needs a day off. Hinata shrugged it off, swatting away the finger. Also, Himawari will come to realize how demanding your job is. Even if Sasune and I practically cleared all the day's paperwork, she only needs to give her stamp of approval. Yuchan certainly has more than she bargained for. Naruto smirked. Look, you didn't think I'd just throw our girl into the deep like that, did you? Sasune already told me. Looking at his smile, Naruto smiled. You orchestrated this whole thing well, Hina-chan. I mean, she usually understands why I'm not home. She still wants you home, though. Hinata was the one who poked back, especially on her birthday. I know you were busy, but it's so to see, but well, it saddened her, and I don't want her to suppress her feelings either. Besides, experiencing your job for a day would only make her understand better. Although I did rearrange her schedule a little. I thought Sasune did that, Naruto chuckled. I did add 2 changes, you know. Changes? How do you think your father is going to be when he sees his granddaughter with my hat? He smirked. The poor man had always worn that cold facade. But whether it was age softening him or simply Himawari herself, the fact that Hyoga Hiyashi was not able to avoid spoiling his granddaughter. And the second? Gaara's visiting town today, Naruto laughed, quickly followed by Hinata's gentle laugh. He never recovered from the first time Hima-chan saw him. Didn't he call him scary while burying her face in your skirt? Oh, my heart! He's been trying to prove to her that he isn't since that day. After her parents left the office, Himawari toddled way too large for her chair, while still wearing the way too large for her hat, killing the way too large heart of this reader. With a proud expression, she sat down atop a couple of pillows, looking expectantly at Susune. Susune was convinced that she'd be suffering from busted ribs by the end of the day by a stifled laughter. Most of Himawari's rejoicing, the paperwork wasn't as bad as she expected. It was mostly forwards with needed a stamp, she loved stamping, or needed to be signed. Often doodles like tiny pandas, hearts, or teeny versions of herself or her family. Ah! Well, the paperwork was done, or mutilated, depending on your point of view. Sunny was glad that the important things were already done with. The people who received these signed forms would understand, especially because it was read, signed by acting Hokage Uzumaki Himawari. Even wasn't as bad as expected. Himawari still got bored by the repetitive task. As if there was some end to the piles of paper which Tsune handed to her. As such, she was glad when someone knocked at the door. Glad for distraction. For the first time, she really understood for the look of relief it was her father would often give her once he snuck into his office. Getting a break during his spurring work was a godsend. When she saw who it was who had entered her office, Himawari's mood got better. Not that she allowed herself to show it, though. That wouldn't be professional. And she did not want these people to think she wasn't really the Hokage. No. Most of everyone, they should bow to her. Konohamaru had to use all of his will to not burst out of laughter. The little girl had a concentrated frown, obviously wanting to make her tiny frame look more imposing than it was. It didn't work out all too well, with the far too big robes and her far too big hat. You know the sad part of all this is? Tsunade asked her grandpa for the same thing. That's how Tsunade knew how to handle the job. And Hiruzen had to do the same thing for Asuma too. I'm just killing you guys today! His agreement had only been shared with one of his 3 students. How Mitsuki had learned about this was something neither Susune nor Konohamaru knew. I'm putting you to play Orochimaru! Of course I knew. Considering how Konohamaru's team had been left on the dark on purpose. But Sniding smile left no room for interpretation. Sarada, on the other hand, had a flabbergasted look on her face. The girl who often proclaimed she would become the next Hokage now lost her voice. This little girl, younger than her, now sat behind the desk as she had dreamed of staying behind, with the hat she dreamed of wearing. Cut! The only logical exclusion that you see how Sarada Reese was it was a Genjutsu. The spelling that didn't work. Activating her Sharingan didn't give any solution, except for confirming she was real. It couldn't be real, could it? Himawari-chan, is that really you? Yep, Himawari beamed. Or dignified a professional attitude instantly forgotten. She scraped her throat, suddenly remember her earlier determination. I just mean as Hokage-sama today, Uchiha-san. Both adults snorted at the girl's proclamation. Even the young Uchiha had to laugh. It was less funny for the other Uzumaki in the room. Uzumaki Boruto, rebellious young blonde, already had issues with the office of Hokage. And seeing his little sister in that seat. Team Sarutobi is clean. Boruto turned at his sister's voice, not listening to the missives he gave her team. Well, the missive that Naruto selected for the team. He had prepared the documents for this day, after all. Boruto didn't know that. Hell, he didn't even know he'd meet his sister like this today. He knew that this idiotic thing would happen soon, because he had been there when his sister practically blackmailed their father into accepting it. But that his father would actually let her be Hokage for a day was something he couldn't take. You gotta be kidding me! Respect my authority! Himawari glared at her elder brother, angry that he interrupted her, especially after she spent quite a bit of time preparing his briefing. You will address me as Hokage-sama today. Like hell I will! Boruto scoffed. After all that's happened, I barely tolerate the old man with that ruddy hat. But you? I won't be freaking listening to my baby sister! Strike 3. Game over. The girl's Byaku got activated as he spoke coldly. Your words are treason. I We're disobeying his Hokage's commands! Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Before either Sasune or Konohamaru could react, two things happened. First, several Anbu popped up from hiding places. Second, seeing those Anbu, Uzumaki Boruto immediately jumped out the window. Well, through the window was more accurately to describe it. Boruto's pranky history turned against him. The Anbu had been a victim one too many times, and they had not forgotten those pranks. The fact that his dad also probably taught him everything that he knows probably wasn't helping. They had not forgotten a single detail. Itching powder, rabid skunks, back selected! Well, there were many Anbu itching to get the brats some payback, especially the female members of the division. How Boruto had gotten his hands on that liquid was something no one knew. But that incident with the dissolving clothes was still a nightmare for several female Anbu. Thank you, Boruto. It was a much better memory for their male colleagues, on the other hand. Simplified, Konohamaru looked at Sasune, who immediately sprinted out the office. This makes it too difficult. Himawari smiled just a little too sweetly to the old Sarutobi. The way she smiled, Konohamaru suspected that she had done this deliberately, baiting her brother, knowing that she'd be able to send the Anbu after him for charges of insubordination. After all, this time, your team does not need to harass business. Was the end of that? In the same sweet tone of voice, Konohamaru realized. She loved pandas. Boruto attacked a panda during their missions. This was vengeance! Yes, Hokage-sama. Yeah, definitely. He didn't want to get on the girl's wrong side. Boruto would go on in the annals of history as the village's worst prankster since his father. But this little girl is worse than Boruto has ever been. You alright, jerk? It's a scroll. Further details are written on it. And these scrolls is the cargo you had to transport. Yes, Hokage-sama. The Jonin and the two remaining Genin bowed before they left. Sarada, being the one closest to the doors, saw clearly where was starting on. Himawari could barely contain her laughter. Less amused was Sasune, when they met on their way out, barking orders at several Anbu in a futile attempt at the halting wild chase after Boruto. In contrast, the seemingly perpetually stoic Kazekage was actually cracking a smile at the sight of fleeing blonde. In turn, the sight of the amused Gaara brought up some bad childhood memories in Konohamaru, who quickly pushed the Genin out the door. Gaara had paid no heed. This was pretty much a normal event, even in Konoha. Strong and respected as Naruto was, the man's eldest son seemed to insist on making him pay for every prank he committed in his childhood, by repeating the same thing. It was karma. Hey! Karma's in that other awesome show! With no Sasune in sight, Gaara simply nodded and entered the office. It seems you can't keep your kids under control. Gaara smirked, looking at the back of the chair. When the chair turned, Himawari. Scary? I'm not scary. Yes, you are. Himawari teased, although it would take a Hyuga to discern that expression. What was that about Papa not being able to control us? Nothing. Gaara blinked, still heavily confused about why the little girl was sitting in Naruto's seat, wearing his hat and robes. Where's your father? I know, the girl chirped. I am. Himawari parled. Papa asked you to. The stupefied Kazekage decided that this was one of Naruto's most ridiculous acts since being appointed Hokage. A little girl leaving the village. What was he thinking? Nothing, probably. Or this seemingly is a girl blackmailed somehow. Gaara knew very well that this girl wasn't nearly as innocent as most people thought she was. Quick! My fans who actually watch Critical Role! Get Liam Neeson to read on this! Please! Liam O'Brien to read on this! Please, I beg you! Scary doesn't reply speaking. Right. And there she pulled the scary card again. And the cute little girl pouting at it. Part of his brain warned Gaara that the girl was tricking him too. But the other was too worried that the girl might truly perceive him as scary. He didn't want her to see her this way. There is business that I need to discuss with your father. Guard decides to scrape his throat. When will you return? I was taking some care of it. Don't worry, friend. I see. Gara sighed. Very well. My niece Daimyo is displeased with your niece's Daimyo regarding a matter involving. This was just too much detail. It was too long-winded and too monotonous a voice. Iwari insulted the word Daimyo and neglected to listen to the rest. Daimyo is being lying. Daimyo what? Papa says Daimyo is a founding old man and restarting folks from Arrow Team. Iwari shrugged. I don't know why Papa says that. Daimyo is funny. Funny? Funny would be the last word Gara would use to describe the boring old man. His assessment with formality and procedure was completely different from a somewhat goofy and absent-minded predecessor. Picturing himself with a bottle of Markman and one of those infamous noddles, early prints for collector's items after all these years, was something beyond far Gara's imagination. Of course, Iwari had a completely different perspective on the man. Gara was easily manipulated by her, but the daimyo was way easier. She had found an ally in a man's granddaughter, barely older than her. Together, well, the man thus far had never been able to refuse them anything, ever. Should I send Daimyo an official letter? Iwari's eyes sparkled with mischief. I'll send you you. I'm not scary. Gara sighed, shaking his head when he saw the little girl giggling nervously. Blissfully unaware of the unfolding chaos, Naruto and Hinata were enjoying a cup of tea. Nat says he was appointed as Hokage had they visited this tea house together. Hinata still lived here in Nakizen, for instance with Hanabi or Kurenai, but, well, they have good memories of this place, especially from the time they started dating. It was pleasantly private, and still in a garden where even most of the wealthy clans had been. This was a place where even Naruto could calm down as a Hokage. Sometimes to unwind was quite welcome. After the whole incident with Momoshiki and Kinshiki, Naruto had been busier than ever. He pitied Hiruzen, only now discovering how much work it was to rebuild part of a village. The Sanome was faced with far greater chaos in the wake of the Kyuubi, the day Naruto was born. Together, Naruto and Hinata enjoyed themselves by imagining the things Himawari was going to experience today. Did she know she spent the last few days writing the bills for pandas? She did what? Naruto frowned. She called it the Panda Protection Act. Hinata smiled. Or Papa abbreviated. She really loves her pandas, doesn't she? Do you like them raw and Naruto-kun? Ramen's different! He exclaimed. As if it was reckless to compare the food of the gods! There's something mundane as a panda. Well, considering how long it usually takes to get a new law accepted, even Chan might be in for a big disappointment. Remember how long it took me to get those 3 words changed last year? There were 4 months of debates. Hinata remembered all too well. Guess I'll have to do something to make it up to Hima-chan later on. Wasn't there a panda summoning contract in Amakura? Puckering lips and a concentrated frown, Naruto nodded. It's not too well known, but yeah, there was someone there. I guess I could contact him. It'd be nice to give her something like that once she graduates from the academy. He smiled. I was hoping either she or Boruto would like to sign the Toad contract. He added a sigh. Boruto had turned down that offer down when he graduated. Still a solid spot for... Eh? What are you two doing here? There was always peace and quiet. Ichiya Sakura popped up. She alone wouldn't have been so great a disturbance, but unfortunately Ichiya wasn't alone right now. And Ino had always been troublesome. Her husband showed too little emotion. Ino always... Well, Naruto once made a remark about that, and Sai stated the same could be said about Hinata and Naruto in terms of greatness, and manners, and intellect, and... Well, Naruto never mentioned it again. Naruto, what are you doing here? Ino frowned. Ino's team was supposed to get a missile assigned this evening. As is Sarada's team, Sakura nodded in agreement. Why aren't you in your office, or did you leave it home? Nope! Naruto chuckled. I'm not your Hokage today, so I don't have to be in office either. Not her Hokage? Today. Say what? Both women shouted. How could you be so irresponsible? Sakura exclaimed. Have you lost your mind, Baka? Who did you leave in charge? I know Sasuke-kun isn't in the village right now. Ino shook her head, as if she was attempting to focus, and wanted to shake all distracting thoughts out of her mind. It was too calm for the village to be in trouble, and she knew he was a bit of a control freak, so she presumed he took precautions. Shikamaru would never agree to this today for a day either. Tsunade-sama now heard Susanoo say she was going to gamble, and Kakashi wouldn't be willing either. Calm down, you two. I left my office in capable hands. Only for today. Hinata agreed. But it was Hima-chan who goaded you into accepting it. True, he admitted sheepishly. He's always been a sucker when it comes to Himawari-chan. Sakura nodded before she paused. Eyes went wide. Surely you don't mean to say that! Yep, Naruto smiled innocently. Hima-chan is Hokage for a day! The two women looked incredulously at their Naname Hokage, as if he had lost their mind. Both proceeded to look at his wife for confirmation. Hinata nodded. Her amused smile only added to the confusion of the two women. Naruto-kun prepared all the paperwork. The Susanoo-san is overseeing Himawari-san today. If anything unexpected happens, she will contact Naruto-kun. Yeah! What could go wrong? Naruto chuckled. On the other side of the village, Boruto nearly stumbled as he started to sneeze. Luckily, the boy managed to keep his footing, quickly continuing his escape, attempting to shake off the wild pursuit of the Anbu. I could get used to this, Naruto yawned, lazily sitting, while more like lying in his comfortable chair. You sure you don't want to take over, sweetie? No, Himawari muttered with a different expression. Paperwork is boring. That is, Naruto smirked. I take it you didn't enjoy that part of my job? Isn't that much everything? It's usually more. Seriously, not kidding at all. Laughing at the disbelieving expression he got as an answer. How was the remainder of your day as Hokage? Hinata chimed in, more interested in what their daughter had done outside the paperwork part. Garaji-san was really surprised to see me. He wasn't scary, was he? No, we're just agreeing me. At least until Kibaji-san got by and asked me to approve the law. See our intersecting. The little girl frowned in confusion. What is hearing, Papa? Garaji-san didn't explain before he started to chase Kibaji-san away with dusty clouds. Naruto remained deeply silent, but made a mental note to seek out Kiba tomorrow. Or whatever remains of Kiba Gara had left, that is. And not to cast a worried glance at her husband, but nevertheless wanted to seek out her old teammate, and tell him that some jokes were not appropriate. Perhaps a talk with Tamaki would be an option to correct his behavior. Oh well, I'm just looking up Garaji-san again. Now that she's been naughty. Himawari thought. Ochi-san also visited. He offered to take me to the ice cream stand, but Susanoo didn't let me. Her mood faltered a little. Hokage always has opportunity just to feel his first, he said. Does she say the same thing to you, Papa? She sure does, Naruto sighed. No ice cream with me? The girl gave him a pitying look. Being Hokage is a great responsibility, Hima-chan. You influence the lives of everyone in the village with your decisions. Paperwork? Even with paperwork, he smiled. The little girl sighed, a little dejected. What's wrong, Hima-chan? When is everything have to be done here, Papa? Because I'm Hokage, he kissed her on the forehead. Yet today, I'm not. If I get Anbu at the door tonight, then you're the one who has to deal with them. That's me. You wanted to be Hokage. It was late, and the girl had experienced a lot today. Naruto knew she had tried to act like a big girl and not yawn. But as a parent, he seemed to have that special gift that sees right through the act. You know, it's scenes like this that remind me why Naruto is a far better dad than Goku will ever be. Knowing he had her now, decided to tease her back. Being Hokage was your wish. So, you must also bear the responsibilities that come with the position. Then I do that myself. D-Hat?
I take it back my hat and give it back to me.
She nodded.
Because Suzuki-san, Aji-san was even more surprised at Garaji-san.
The girl's smart. Navi not seeing her grandfather without express very often. The stoic Yuka had mellowed down over the years. But still, that flabbergasted expression had been a sight Himawari would not soon forget. Fine. You de-hat yourself, Naruto chuckled, ruffling through the girl's hair. Did Grace have anything to say?
You think with Papa?
Cheeping.
In fact, you know Bachan and Sakura Bachan, so their clans will support the Master too. If he comes again, then Nara and Akamichi clans will as well.
Yuka, Yamanaka, Nara, and Akamichi? You passed the bill in one day? Our daughter seems to be a better negotiator than you, wouldn't it say? Hinata smiled. Took me 4 months for 3 measly words, he murmured weakly. 4 months. And she did it in a day? The entire bill? Mother and daughter watched him leave the room, muttering something about using a certain henge next time he wanted to get a law improved, as apparently they were all weak against cute girls.
Mama?
The little girl didn't understand her father's perception.
You'll be fine, sweetie. I'm sure Papa is very proud of what you accomplished today. But that wasn't the only thing I got accepted.
Inwari frowned, a little already confused. Getting a law to a council wasn't that hard, was it? The Panther Protection Act was not the only thing he got through the paperwork.
You did what? Papa has really huge paperwork, so I'm going to be changes.
The little girl shrugged.
Papa's going to be the only one responsible for running the village, so he can't use silly resist anymore. Like Garaji-san called teamwork, and Papa shouldn't get those silly forms anymore, like ordering materials for the construction site. That doesn't belong on his desk,
She said sagely.
So I ordered everyone to not needlessly start their paperwork at Papa, like Shikamaru Ochi-san, but still managed to do it himself. Oh, and I hired 2 people to help with the administration.
That's a very taste of work, lad. Hinata stammered a little, taken aback by what the little girl had done. This little joke had developed some serious consequences. But Hinata certainly really complain. It was true Naruto shouldn't be solely responsible for running the village, especially not considering the non-shinobi affairs. But these changes would spur quite a bit of political maneuvering, as clans will want to expand their influence by placing their people on those 2 spots.
Oh, Papa's going to get a certification too.
Himawari smiled.
Some princess woman said the bird, asking if Papa wanted to fulfill his promise. She was a bit funny on me. Why did she send a message to Hawk for a request to fertilize his fields? How did she know I'd be Hokage today?
She added pensively.
Priestess?
Hinata glanced.
Shion?
Okay! Who here remembers the Superman first movie to get that reference? If you did, you're lying. A few changes to the Konoha's policies were not the only consequences of Himawari's reign. Later that evening, a rather big hawk came flying in, literally through the window of Naruto and Hinata's bedroom. It was just after they had fallen asleep, a longer while after they had brought their daughter to bed. After a lot of cursing and swearing, Naruto accepted a small scroll, which the bird carried and read, Dobe, you made your daughter Hokage for a day. Why didn't you do that for my Sarada? You of all people should know how badly she wants to become Hokage. I'll be visiting tomorrow to discuss this injustice. Uchiha shall not be ignored again. S.
How does he?
Must have heard it from Sakura. Naruto read the letter sleepily, and he absentmindedly created a clone, was assisted sleepily to mend the broken window. The hawk dust dispelled after his son is duty. Oh, me thinks there's going to be a rumble on top of Hokage Mountain tonight! Well, that didn't remove the mess the creature had made, nor did the clone. Let's just slump down on the ground and start snoring.
That'd be likely.
Hinata agreed.
Sasuke seems annoyed.
That Teme was always annoyed.
More than usual this time.
Well, of course he does. Sarada. Teme still feels guilty. Naruto yawned. Sleepy. Deal with him tomorrow. Someone? Nothing. Hey! The boy shouted. Voice raspy from all to sit. Sorry. This isn't funny anymore! They had presumed that he had gone on a mission with his team, so he wouldn't be home until tomorrow. But Uzumaki Boruto never left with his team. And Wari, in all our excitement about that day, forgotten about that too. He was still in Konoha. Sir, managed to outrun the Anbu for quite some time. But everyone runs out of chakra at some point. Even those of us from legacy clans. The Anbu had captured him. I threatened him to jail. Damn it! And here I thought Dad was the worst Hokage! Rebellious Blonde grumbled. No, that would be Tobirama. Oh, come on! Hashirama formulated the fillets. Here's what was able to, teach everybody. Miyato, saved the entire town. What did Tobirama do besides create, I don't know, the whole entire monster Asabi Jutsu? He would sound worse. I'm going to make her pay for this! Be quiet, you little delinquent! Ako-sensei? I thought you called me Buta-sensei before you left the academy. The somewhat overweight woman grinned vindictively, not at all pleased to be called pig. You made the Anbu covers sway a bit. Enough for them to recall this retired interrogator, who just happened to have some spare time. When the snake slithered into his cell, the young Uzumaki Boruto screamed harder than he had done that day. Boom! Yan! This Vic! I got nothing. I'm sorry. I mean, I want to have something about characterization and character development and yada yada yada, but this is just too cute and adorable. I went down. This is where to go. See you next time. Kagebushi no Tetsu!